परत एक फावट येवकार तुमकां फादर मेवरिक फर्नांडीस आमचे बरोबर आणि एक काउन्सिल फॉर सोशल जस्टिस आणि पीस ही चर्चेची संस्था जी सामाजीक आणि राजकीय विशयांचेर खूप गजाली भायर काडटा, चर्चा करता, लोकांक जागृत करता अशा संस्थेचे ते प्रतिनिधी. फादर म्हाका एक गजाल सांगात, दुसरो इशू जो तुमी आतां घेवपाक सोदतात आनी घेतात तो म्हळ्यार कॅसिनोंचो. एक्झॅक्ट तुमचो इशू कितें, मुद्दो कितें?
A state which looks at its revenue on vices speaks about the quality of that state. And when the government is promoting it with the zest that it is there, speaks also the character of the government, which is a very crucial thing for people to reflect.
How can you say that government is promoting it?
When it has created laws in order for promotion, for us we don't see which party is in government, we see which is the government. Because if a particular party thinks that that is not the law that has to be exercised and it should bring amendments and change that. Unfortunately, the present government, when it was in the opposition, objected to the functioning of the casinos. There were morchas in front of our office. We saw that because my office is just opposite one of the offices of that. We have video documentation of people in the present government, the chief minister leading this. And now afterwards when it comes into government, it forms the government, we are asking questions of how you reduce these prices instead of changing the laws and objecting to the functioning. As an opposition leader, you had one voice to speak, which was what the people were saying. As a person in the government, now how your voice changes. So the whole question of us, apart from the moral aspects in it, a whole question about the social pollution that is taking place. How it is affecting the
government has argument असा की आम्ही फी कमी केली एंट्री फी, पण आम्ही तांची लायसन्स फी इतली वाडयली की half of these casinos will not have an option but to maybe shut down or merge with each other. That is the argument of the government. That is the logic they are saying. They did this. They reduced the entry fee.
My point of in question is not about the fees, not about entry fees or the taxes that are imposed. My question is, you want a government to function on vices. You want to accrue revenue for the state functioning from such a. Tomorrow you can also legalize crime or put a percentage on crime. That would be the state of affairs. This is the argument we are asking. And you spoke a good voice in the, as in the opposition. Why don't you continue the same enthusiasm in the government? This is our question to the government.
So you are saying that is government taking different stance on certain issues contrary to their performance in the as a opposition party?
I am not saying their performance is picking up for it. I am only speaking about the performance at present. It is in the open for everybody to see. As in the opposition, what the present party which is formed the government, as an opposition what they did, how they were taking up this issue, which was very much with the people, and now how they are silenced.
So what are you saying? Eradicate these casinos from the Mandavi?
Absolutely.
Completely?
Yes.
There can be an argument where they say that government is a continuous process. They were legally put in there. Just because of a change in regime, you just can't throw them out. Won't be fair.
Then as an opposition, that was not what you all had asked for. You should have been your voice. That should have been your demand. That we will continue as if we form in the government. Your voice as an opposition was different, which was very much in agreement with what the people are asking now. Those who are fighting against it.
So
why the silence now?
The then opposition party did not, you are saying that did not consider this aspect, that once they come to power it will be difficult for them to. So you are saying eradicate completely.
Yes, sir.
Second issue is of MOPA. What is your stand on that?
I visited these places often. Quite a number of people are known to me over there. And precisely because we wanted to understand this, right from the beginning this whole issue of MOPA emerged. From then on we've been talking to people there. I've interacted with people. And the fact is, these are people who are having a very sustainable livelihood without a single subsidy or any grant from the government. For centuries they have been functioning there. No employment opportunities that are provided by the government, but they have created their own employment opportunities for themselves. A sustainable one, now the government is telling them, we are going to give you all jobs which are not sustainable. We are going to make you all dependent on something which you are not familiar with. We are going to give you a price for your land of which you are not going to be in any way beneficiaries of it. So, whose development are they speaking about? When such big structures come, infrastructure is introduced, it's to be for the benefit of the people. So the question we are asking, which people are they talking? Whose benefit are they talking about?
एक मिनटात पेडणेच्या लोकांक आजपर्यंत असलो प्रोजेक्टच केन्नाय मेळ्ळो ना. सो थंय जितली डेव्हलपमेंट जावपाक जाय आशिल्ली तितली डेव्हलपमेंट जाली ना. ह्या प्रोजेक्टा लागून ती डेव्हलपमेंट जातली. That is the argument.
जाल्यार बरी जातली आसली. But what is it the involvement of the people there today in this planning process? Are the people involved in this planning process of the Mopa airport? Are these people who are living there involved in this? If the people are not involved in the planning process, then definitely they are being exploited.
But airport sarki gazal is something that a professional should plan.
Certainly, we are not.
How can people?
We are not saying that those people are having the capacity and the expertise to decide about Mopa as an airport, international airport. But the point that we are raising here is, what is the participation of the people in such a huge infrastructure that is being brought?
What kind of participation you want for people?
They have to be also aware of what is going to come, in the sense that what would be the benefits for them. Today you go and ask them, they are all objecting to this. It is only a hype that has been created that the Perne Taluka will receive a lot of benefits out of this project. That has been the same argument put in every infrastructure that has been introduced. The locals will benefit. We have enough of it to be seen across Goa. When these infrastructures were introduced, how much the locals have benefited. So what is the plan of the government to say that the locals are going to benefit? What is the statistical
benefit? What are you saying? Enlighten people or scrap the project?
No,
what is the thing?
I'm asking, what is the participation, what is the plan of the government to tell the people, so these are the benefits you're going to get? What are they? The other aspect that we are raising also is, Daboli airport is there. Mopa is being planned as an international airport. People in the aviation industry, people in the airports, in the authorities, are of the opinion, people who have been in the senior positions, we have consulted these people, are of the opinion that Daboli is not sufficiently explored. A very small percentage of that is being actually utilized. And if that is so, why you bring another big project if this which is existing you have not put it to its full use? So those areas are being developed. Our question is it really for the benefit of the people?
तुम्ही किती म्हणतात? लोकांना एनलायटन कर म्हणतात का प्रोजेक्ट स्क्रॅप कर म्हणतात?
People have to be enlightened. One, enlightened people have to decide whether this project is required or not. Not being dumped on them.
एक म्हणतात की दाबोळी इतलो वजन पडपाक लागला की दाबोळी आणि प्रेशर घेवपाक शकना.
But this is, no proofs are there, no statistical information is there to say that घेवंक शकना म्हणून ते. घेवंक जाता म्हणून तरी आसा. आणि as much as it can take is not been explored as yet. These statistics are there. घेवंक जायना म्हणून statistics ना.
Another issue comes तो नेव्हीचो येता. ताजेर तुमचे कितें म्हणणें आहे? समजा फाल्यां मोपा आयलोच ना, नेव्ही आसाच, अगेन फाल्यां जर ग्रोथ जातली जाल्यार ती ग्रोथ जावपाक congestion जातलें. There will be too much congestion. What to do of Navy then?
See, even speaking from the point of view of the expansion of tourism today, even that taking into consideration, the need of it is something which has to be debated and discussed more. We have not yet felt the need because the people have not in those areas. It is only the hype that has been created around that people of that area will benefit it. The government has no clear-cut plan to say that these are things which will be benefited those people.
So you are saying that make that plan first.
Yeah.
And then
let the
take
people
decision.
know that it is for your benefit.
And then take the decision.
Because if any development has to take place, it has to be for the people of that place. Because the question arises after this, whose development are you speaking about? So you don't have a plan in place to say that your development, this is how we are planning. and they take the approval of, and then they let the people say, yeah, we want this thing to happen. That is real participation in planning. Not that we are saying that people should sit on the board to decide the areas and the contours of those airports. That is a professional job, definitely. But as far as this participation in planning has to be from this angle.
Coming to the last part of this interview, आता सांगात मग हे जे परिवर्तन म्हणतात, how is church looking at this परिवर्तन?
परिवर्तन of
government, परिवर्तन of regime,
See,
from Congress-led government to BJP-led government.
Let me put it very frankly. We are not concerned about which party forms the government. Let me be very honest with you, straight. Our concern is how the government functions. If the government is saying that we are a change, a government, and people and the press has been saying that there's a change in the government, please show it through your performance that there's a change. Mere words remain empty if this change is not seen in its performance. And as I have proved, as I have substantiated in my thing, we are yet to see this change that is actually what is expected from this government. I've given you several examples, and we would like to see this change. We are not saying that we don't give a chance to this government. We want to see this change. Let your honest words be really actions.
What are your expectations from this government?
We have actually presented our expectations much before the elections also, saying that whichever government comes into formation, whichever party forms the government, should look at certain of these issues that have to be. And we had shortlisted a few things in that. Some of which I can cite off here is, like, first we have said also that a proper assessment of the land in Goa has to be done. Because today people are crying across the state that land is no more in the hands of Goans. And what is the commitment of the government to assess these things? To see that an identity, land gives an identity to the people.
Okay.
And how the identity of the. Secondly, we said also the government has to be sensitive towards how this planning process has to be there. It has to always remain participatory, not depend on consultants and consultative bodies, but let it begin at the grassroots level.
Okay.
And then you bring it to the consultants who are experts who required to bring that.
Okay. Third issue.
The third thing we had said also, you need to introduce these human rights commissions here. A very functional commission, because there are several issues of human rights that are cropping up and emerging of late over the years, where people have to have a forum, where they can address their grievances from the human rights point of view.
So, can we say one thing, that change of regime has happened, but change in confidence, your change in confidence towards the regime is yet to happen.
Yes.
Yet to happen. And you are waiting for that.
We want to see this
and you are waiting for that. So, या हाजेर आम्ही ही आयची मुलाखत सोपयतात. खूप महत्वाच्या विषयांचे फादर उलयले आणि ताणें एक भूमिका मांडल्या, कांय सजेशन्स केल्यात सरकाराक. फादर बोवाळ चल्ला तरी आसतना आयले आनी ही मुलाखत दिली. थँक्स अ लॉट. इट वॉज प्लेजर टॉकिंग टू यू.